Hello everyone and welcome to how to make a cardboard gun. For this, you're gonna need a few things. You need tape, you need a Stanley knife, you need scissors, and you need a photo of a gun life size. You also need a pencil and cardboards. I don't have them in this frame, but they are there just behind the camera. Anyway, so for step 1, you need to cut out your paper gun. So it's pretty important, you need to do this neatly. This is going to be the basis of what your gun is going to look like. So if you want like a different pistol, you just get a different photo. You can really do this for any gun you want. And as you see, I'm just cutting around and pretty soon I have my gun. You do not want to cut out the trigger. Make sure you keep the trigger in there because that is going to be important for later. Looks pretty good. Anyway, step 2, cut cardboard. So what you want to start with this is just cutting yourself a bit of a rectangle or a square made out of cardboard, something like that. I ended up using a Stanley knife. I found it was much more effective than scissors. Anyway, there we go. I've got myself a bit of a rectangle. I flip it over to the clean side, and yeah, I want to first of all sketch out the gun with a pencil. So I use the gun picture as a bit of a stencil and I draw, you know, all the lines around the gun so I can cut. And before you know it, there we go, I've got a bit of a sketch of the gun. Now, first of all, I was going to use a Stanley knife, but first of all, I just used a pencil to like outline the lines so you can see it on camera better. Because as you can see, it's pretty much invisible on camera. But anyway, I did some, and then I started, step 3, cutting the gun out. Now, you need to be careful, because Stanley knives are sharp. Hear that, kids? Stanley knives are sharp. Be careful with them. But anyway, I started cutting my gun out, and it took a little bit, but eventually, we got him. So, as I said before, make sure you keep the trigger in there. Don't cut the trigger out. In the shadow of the gun, it looks like a gun, but like whatever. I used the Stanley knife to start making some of the edges nicer and everything, making it look a little bit cleaner because it was a little bit messy. Step 4, repeat step 2 and step 3. Now, I have to make a second gun silhouette for this, and then cut it out, obviously. And yep, there we go. I've got 2 now. And they are pretty much identical. I have the first one and the second one. And when you put them together, they're pretty much the same. Looks good. So the next thing you want to do is go and cut out the trigger. Now this bit's kind of difficult because it's really hard to cut circles in cardboard. I used the Stanley knife. It worked pretty well. If you do accidentally cut through the whole trigger and it breaks, that's okay. Use tape to fix that. It won't make an effect on the final product. As you can see, I definitely took my time on this because it was difficult. But eventually I did it. There we go. They're both done. They look pretty thick, so they're like the size, it looks thick, so which is what I want. Next, step 5, cut little bits of cardboard up. Now, with the cardboard, what the theory is the gun's really too thin. It's thick, but too thin right now. So what I want to do is I want to put little bits of cut up cardboard in between both silhouettes to thicken it up and so that it's the correct size. It looks like the right gun size. So I spent a little bit of time doing this and eventually I've got some bits. So I now need the duct tape, which I had earlier, and I need to stick these little bits together so they don't fall out of the gun. So I grab some tape, I grab the pieces, and I start putting them together. I just wrap the tape around each little bit just so that it stays together because it's important. And I do that with each little piece. I've got 3 little pieces things. Stack them all together. There you go. So those are going to be the bit that makes my gun look the right thickness. And now when I put the other silhouette on top, it's the correct width and length and everything. It's the correct dimensions. It looks pretty good. But of course, I have to make it a whole gun because it's all just little bits. So step 6, taping the gun. So with duct tape you could use grey because then you wouldn't need to do part 2, which I'm about to show you later in this video. But yeah, I only had green, so I used green. And so basically what you want to do is you want to cover the entire gun in duct tape so that nothing falls out and it's pretty stable. So you can see here, it's just quite a lot of time I invested into making the gun whole and safe and everything. So as you can see, it did take a while, but we got there. It did look pretty good, I must say. It looked green, it looked nice, kind of felt cool. It's also a chroma key thing, I added things behind it just because, I don't know, why not, it looks pretty cool. And now we have officially done part 1. Good work, everyone. You did part 1, congratulations. Now, for part 2, you're going to need your gun. You're going to need some grey paper, which you can print from your printer or colour in with pencils, black paper, and scissors. You also need tape, because tape is very important for this bit. So for part 1 of part 2, start by cutting the paper. So what we're going to do, right, is we're going to use the grey paper, and we're going to wrap it around our gun to make it look grey, and like less green. So we're going to use the tape to stick it all up. See, I've wrapped this bit around the handle, and it just makes it look more real and less like green duct tape color. It's better like this. Anyway, so I spent quite a while doing this. As you can see, I grabbed some tape, and I simply just put it over the ends of it. And it does look a little bit weird, but by the end it looks okay. So I do this for ages. I do like half an hour of just putting paper around, and then it ends up looking like this. Off camera, I also put some of the black paper on just for the muzzle, because, yeah, you need some of that. It looks okay, a little bit tapey, that doesn't matter right now. I think it looks pretty good. So what I need to get next is I use a permanent texture. You can use a permanent texture or a black texture to put in the details. Because, you know, you need a grip, and I did some extra stuff on the muzzle, I did something on the handle, and I thought, yeah, it looks pretty good now. And then when you're done, you have your finished product. Yep, guys, this is what I present to you, the cardboard prop gun. I think it looks pretty cool, looks pretty dope. Here's some just cool photo things of it. Now for this next bit, I did add some extra effects. Leave a comment if you want to see a video about how to make the muzzle flashes happen. I can make that happen if you need it. Yeah, anyway guys, that's today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see another video, click here. If you want to see another video, click there. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like and subscribe. This took ages, and yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys later.